Okay, I want you to picture this. A fortress that literally rises right out of the water of this brilliant blue lake. It's like a stone sentinel guarding this tiny little peninsula. That's Sirmione Castle on Italy's Lake Garda, and it is an absolutely breathtaking sight. So let's dive into this architectural marvel. I mean, it looks like something straight out of a fairy tale, right? But this castle is very, very real, and its story is etched into every single stone. So, the big question we're going to tackle today is pretty simple, but it's also kind of profound. How does this one fortress, that looks like it's floating on water, manage to hold 2,000 years of Italian history, from Roman legions all the way to Renaissance artists? Let's find out. To get our answer, we've got to go way back. We have to start at the very beginning and trace how this fortress was forged and then reforged by some of the most powerful people of their day. So the castle's story really plays out in three big chapters. It all started over 2,000 years ago as a Roman military outpost. But, the massive fortress that we see today, that was really shaped in the Middle Ages by the super powerful Scaliger family. They ran this area for centuries. And then, later on, during that cultural explosion we call the Renaissance, the castle got another facelift, softening its tough military edges with some beautiful artistic restoration. To really get this castle, you have to understand the why. See, the Scaliger family didn't just build a fort, they built a statement piece. Back then, northern Italian city-states were basically at war all the time. So controlling a strategic spot like the Sirmione Peninsula, that was everything. Every single tower, every thick wall, was designed to scream, "Don't mess with us," to their rivals. It was a symbol of absolute power and control. All right, enough about the history for a second. Let's actually go on a little virtual tour. Let's step inside those very walls and see what it was like to live and work in this incredible fortress. First up, we're going to start by just appreciating the sheer scale of those 13th century walls. Then we'll step inside, and you'll be surprised by how peaceful the inner courtyard is. From there, we'll uncover the hidden gem that is the Renaissance chapel. And finally, we're going to climb the main tower, because the reward at the top is absolutely spectacular. A panoramic view of Lake Garda. You know what's so cool about this place? The architecture itself tells the story. You can literally see the layers of history built, one right on top of the other. At the very base, you can still find Romanesque elements. That's a style known for its really thick, heavy walls and rounded arches. The outside is pure Gothic military might, all thick walls and imposing towers. But then you step inside the chapel and bam, you're in the Renaissance, surrounded by these delicate, intricate carvings. It's like time travel. And we absolutely cannot forget the heart of the castle, the Great Hall. This was the center of everything, politics, social life, you name it. Just imagine this space, with its soaring ceilings and fancy decorations just filled with knights, nobles, and artists. It was totally designed to impress everyone who walked in, a grand stage for the powerful Scaliger family to show off. But here's the thing. The castle isn't just stone and mortar. Over hundreds of years, it basically became a vault for some of the most priceless art and artifacts you can imagine. So let's take a look at the treasures hidden inside. The collection in here is just astonishing. We're talking priceless paintings by legendary masters like Raphael and Titian, but the treasures go way beyond paintings. You can see actual pieces of history, from suits of armor that probably saw real battles to the royal carriages that carried nobility. And all around you, these incredible frescoes give you this colorful little window into what daily life was like in the castle centuries ago. So it's been a fortress, a palace, and a museum. But Sirmione Castle's story doesn't just end in the past. Its legacy is very much alive and kicking today. And this number right here, it says it all. Over 1 million people visit Sirmione Castle every single year. That's incredible. It's transformed from this private fortress into one of Italy's most beloved public monuments. It's a global destination for tourists and history buffs alike. And its importance is officially recognized on the world stage. As a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the castle is celebrated as a vital part of the cultural and natural beauty of the whole Lake Garda region. That status basically confirms that it has outstanding universal value to the entire world. And its influence really stretches across time. Way back in the day, its unique design inspired some of history's greatest architects, including the hugely influential Renaissance master Andrea Palladio. And today, Its dramatic beauty is capturing the imagination of a whole new generation, even famously showing up in global hits like the TV show Game of Thrones. It's so important to remember that a legacy like this doesn't just survive by accident. The castle is meticulously preserved by the Italian government. After a massive restoration project back in the 90s, there are continuous conservation efforts underway to make sure this piece of history will still be standing for centuries to come, so that our grandkids and their grandkids can walk its walls. Which brings us right to our final question. We've seen it as a Roman fort, a medieval symbol of power, a Renaissance palace, and now a modern museum. It's been reinvented over and over again for 2,000 years. So as we look at this timeless structure, you just have to wonder, what will Sirmione Castle become next?